Hey, hey, how's everybody doing? It's Thirsty Thursday. I have to say it every time, even though it's not really Thirsty Thursday. Not anymore. It's Journal in Progress Thursday, though. I am gonna get myself into just a couple of groups here. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. All right. All right, guys. So on Monday in the Crafty Bunch, there was a Crafter's Choice event, and pardon me, I started this little junk mail envelope, and she's not in the window right now, but there she is. Hello. So, hey, Jenny. So she is, hanging out in here. And this is going to be a spread in my French inspired journal, which I don't know if we need to call it anything other than that. Right? I mean, it's not, I don't know. I guess that to me, there's a bit of a shabby chic type of element, I suppose, to this. But today we're probably just going to work on this one spread because I really only did, not much at all. So I'm going to pull my camera down so that we can get to playing with stuff. Move this over and then turn it right side up. Let's see if I can get her done without it. Sometimes it wants to. Yippers. Get my mouse pad out of the way. Okay. So, this is what we did Monday. The only thing I did beyond is finish putting the stuff around the window and glue this on. I did take a little bit of white, just like my gel pen ink, and smear it kind of around here. And then on the inside, we've just got this. So there's still lots to do. Lots and lots and lots to do. So one thing that I wanted to do is continue on the outside here. And I have this book that I got off of Amazon. Now, I have seen this book at, Borders. Yeah, Borders. And it's like twice as much there as it is on Amazon. So I thought maybe these flowers here, they're kind of viney. But then as I continued to look, there's actual kind of ivy vine type stuff that I think would be fun to have on the outside of this brick wall. That might be all of it. It needs to be, a fairly small scale to go on our wall. But I think that these will do just a touch. It doesn't need to be too much. I like this stuff more, so I'm going to move that. But before I put that on, I like this look of an advertisement. And doing that got me thinking about when I oh, it's not really making it. I don't know. It makes me think of like washi tape, but it's not. It's not really washi tape. But I want it to look like there has been advertisements on there that are no longer there. So I'm going to take some tape here and I'm going to just tape it right over the top of this advertisement. Have you guys done this before? If you've done this before, let me know. And if you haven't done it before, you will. You will now. I usually do it with book pages. And this is kind of slick, so I hope it works still. It worked a little bit. It worked a little bit. Got clear down into there. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is just put this here so that it kind of looks like that advertisement has peeled off. Get rid of that white. And as much of the shiny tape as I can. I wish my tape wasn't so shiny. So maybe about right there. I'll glue it because that tape, you know, we took all the sticky off when we did this. So, but I'm thinking maybe a little bit more. A little bit. So then that would be like about right there. Okay, I'm not mad at that at all. I'm gonna get rid of my excess tape on this one, same as I did the other one. Hey, Luann, thanks for coming on. I just am using some regular old Scotch tape to rip pieces of those advertisements up, make it look like there we go. And I think, like in my mind, if that had been glue and pasted, maybe underneath that there's more this will work better. It always works better on you know, this paper that isn't shiny. There we go. So I think I'll put this down first. Layers, layers, layers. Where's my glue? Where's my glue? Let me know as you hop on. I love to say hi. Oops. There we go. And now I'll put this one on. I feel like, is that kind of hard for you guys to see? Sometimes I feel like when I get too close, I don't know, the perspective is just a little weird. Can't see the whole thing. So here's the advertisement that has worn off, like the previous one. And I give that a chance to dry, but then I think I'm going to do some drips. I almost wish I wouldn't have put that. I put some white over the top of that to try and make it stand up more, but I like her right there. Okay. And then for this, like, I definitely do the same kind of techniques that I did when I was doing, like furniture or canvas. I still kind of do those things here. It did. This paper right here was shiny. Let me find it. There it is. You can see that this paper is more slick, the advertising, and it did work. It just is easier on like book paper, book pages, because I think it's easier because you can control it more. Like this, I ripped it and it kind of just, whatever it gets a hold of, it goes until it doesn't anymore. And with the flat paper, like the book pages, it only takes what you put it on. Does that make sense? But yeah, it totally worked. Totally worked. It was the first time I tried it on paper that wasn't book page. I've always just done book paper. And I don't know if you can see, like some of the writing, obviously, it's got some of the white, but some of it, all it took was the type. It didn't take any of the white page, which is kind of fun if you're putting it on a light colored background. Okay. I think I am gonna take this. I used to have kind of a standing supply of paintbrushes in my drawer, but I don't anymore. Let me grab one. I've got some crappy ones here. That doesn't sound very nice, but they're just not very high quality. And I am just going to use, you could use acrylic paint, watercolor. Watercolor would be good. I just don't want to use my permanent. I want my Distress Oxide that isn't waterproof. Ooh, this was called Fired Brick. That could be good, because that might look a little like rust. Just a smidge. You can do this on any of your cellophane like wrappers if you don't have a glass mat. I just want, and I have to, oh my gosh, come here. I want it to drip, so I'm just gonna spray a little bit of water there. And then the rest of it should follow the water. Paint may have worked better. The paper is just absorbing the water. But in my mind, I was kind of thinking rust, you know. It's just not really dripping. I wonder if it's because, well, it's on scrapbook paper. I was thinking, I wonder if it's because it's an envelope, but it shouldn't be. Okay, I'm going to do a different color because that didn't show up great. Oh, you know what? I'm going to get something else that I just... Instead of trying to figure out a bunch of stuff, I do kind of like the white that it left there. I don't know if you guys can see that real well. I'm going to put it upright again, so... This is just kind of like a wood stain. This is dark and decrepit, but you could just do watered down brown paint, stuff like that. You know, this is what I happen to have, so that's why I'm using it. I feel like oh gosh, I don't even know if I know how to describe it. In my mind, I feel like it is, you know, like these people that live here, they don't have money, but they still have like these societal obligations, or they're trying to pretend like they have money or something, you know. So there's raggediness on the outskirts of the oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? Luxury. So there's luxury, but at the same time, it's kind of raggedy. Does that make sense? Got to make up a little story as we go here. Once I get it to kind of dispense how I want, then that's why I'm putting it up right. There we go. Oh, well, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back. So obviously you kind of have to, when I do the water spray to make things move on certain projects that are paper, you have to be more careful than others. Like if you've done a top coat or like any kind of decoupage, you're pretty protected. You know, you don't have to worry about it ruining anything. Dadgummit, I just did. Sorry. Hi, Kim. I'm just trying to get this to drip. Oh, come on, you silly thing. It's not going to drip over the top of that advertisement because it's, oh, there we go. Because it's basically tape. So yeah, this is going to lend to the like shabbiness, I guess. Hi, Lori. Because again, in my mind, I feel like this household, this family, you know, she's got that really nice dress and it's a really nice house, but then they're suffering in some way. There's a little bit of shabbiness. They're having a hard time paying their bills, but they're trying to keep up appearances. I may have watched or read too many romance novels or something. But generally speaking, you don't have to be afraid to add liquid to your project. I don't think, anyway. I never do. I figure like where that's coming up, I'll just re-glue it down. Because I really wanted the liquidy drippy look. Okay. So the first thing we did is I used some Scotch tape to rip off parts of the advertisement to make it appear like, you know, it was peeling off. And I kind of like the idea of maybe even staining some of this fabric. I'm going to use the antique linen for that. Oh, for heaven's sakes. It's not quite as dark as Vintage Photo. So I don't know. Let's see. Is it? Oh, no. That's not going to do nothing. That's not going to do nothing. Ooh, I've got some forest moss too. Why not just mix it all up, right? There we go. Those three colors. And if you ever do the inks for fabric, I usually just like get it wet, you know? And then while it's wet, sometimes you can um, really get some texture in there on the fabric. So if I wanted to, let's see, I've always just kind of crumbled it up. I've never tried to be real intentional about it. This isn't wide enough. I was like, maybe I could even like fold it zigzaggy. I'm just going to shove it in there. That'll keep it in that ball, and then it'll be all good and wrinkly when I take it out. Okay. So when I started this in my mind, I was initially thinking that she would be glued to the window, but obviously I wasn't thinking that through, because when you pick it up, then she would go with the window. So let me make a mark if I could find an actual pencil. There we go. Oh, I should have used my friction pen. What was I thinking? I forgot I used that. I put that white there thinking that was where I wanted her to be. But now I've got her up a little higher. Yeah, I'm good with her right there. Okay. I want her to be elevated, so I'm going to use some of this double-sided tape here. Scissors. And I'm pretty sure I have like some picture frame types things. Put that in her noggin. Put that on her noggin. This foam tape is sticky. Hey, Lori. How are ya? I mean, I think that's probably enough as I grab more. Okay. You know how I talked about doing a chair? If I do this, then it's just too late. Let me look. Let me look real quick and see if I can find. I know where it is, but if it's going to work is the question. Well, I say I know where it is. I know it's in one of these things. One of these. Oh, look there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. not sure if this is the one it's in or not, but we've got this picture frame now. Yes, this is the chair I was thinking of. Too bad these are so big. Oh, and look, a little settee. That might need to go in the background. Okay. So this is where she is. So this would be a bird's, like, fur. Stop it. I don't really know that it makes that much of a difference. I mean, you can't see it too awful much with, it's, you know, it's really close to the same color as the, so her butt is just not the right size. Maybe. I have to decide whether or not it bugs me enough. You know what I mean? So this is the back of the settee, but that's about perfect. And then I would just cut all of that off, and that would be the only thing I would be doing it for, is that, so that her arm isn't just like, hey, sticking out there like that. Like, hey guys. Am I being ridiculous thinking it needs to be there? Hmm. Okay, so her head is there. I'm just going to whack this off so that I can, that's there. It's be right about there. I'm gluing it down. I'm going to glue her down. Why not, right? Y'all, it is July. Next week. Next week. Is anybody doing anything for the 4th? Any fun plans? Stop it. We are going to, one of my kids sent something out about, you know, what are we doing kind of deal. And every single one of my kids come back with how they can't, you know, buy fireworks this year. They're too broke. And I was like, so what? Let's all get together and do a potluck, which I'm sure we will. But my family, the amount of fireworks in the past that we have done is insane. I wasn't raised like that, like raised doing that many fireworks. So when I joined this family, I had no idea. New idea. Going for it. Going for it. And then if the outside is dry, we can put those vines on the wall. On the brick wall. Her arm still somewhat looks like it's just, up in the air there, but that's okay. I wonder if I should have kept all of this. Oh, no, I didn't, because her butt wasn't where the seat is. That's why. That's why. Aww. That'll be fun. I bet it'll be crowded there, girl. Crowded. It's been a long time since I've been that way. Ooh, that's a good idea, Andrea. It's better than the old fist bump. Ye old fist bump. Ye old fist bump. It just wasn't, doing it for me. I think that is a better idea than me putting half a chair under her rear. But it has been a long time since I've been to that neck of the woods on the 4th. Yeah, I bet I can find some flowers. I bet I can. As a matter of fact, y'all, I have containers everywhere. I rearranged and reorganized the way I do things, and the stuff that didn't get into the new organizational chart system is still in the same place. And I forget about it, but I'm pretty sure that there was a little bouquet type of thing in one of these. There's a rose and some birds. I'm not sure that's quite right, but like the thing I am picturing in my head was an actual bouquet where the stems were all gathered. a teacup, wouldn't that be cute? That would be super cute. I think that, I mean, you know, I could even just print one. Just resize it and print one. Yeah, I forget about this stuff in here because all of this is all little Tim Holtz stuff in these two. And I have another place that I put them now, a different place. I need to move them. What do we think of that? That's actually got a little thing around the stems, but it's kind of big. We could put this in our teeth. No. I crack myself up sometimes. I don't really think there's anything else. Okay. Oh my gosh, Andrea! First of all, I'm going to need you to be on every live I have from now on, okay? Second of all, I'm going to need myself to be on like a 5 or 15-second delay so that I can see your ideas in plenty of time. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this makes it seem like, so you know how I was saying this is a family that is on hard times trying to keep up appearances? Like, it's because her fiance stood her up. Her arranged marriage didn't go through. And she's sitting here with this bouquet of flowers. I do kind of like the idea of a book. We're still a little damp on the outside here from all the water and the dripping. Oh! Just took part of the window sill with me. Famous last words about how water doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't hurt anything as long as you let it dry, I should say. That's why I tried to move on to the inside. Well, we can do a little book right now. And then I also have that fabric. Need to do a little picture there, which some of those flower things would have been good for that, right? That's just too thick. I have all of those Tim people, but I'm not sure that that is the right era. You know what I mean? Those kind of snapshots. What are they called? Strips. Yeah, that's pretty big. And with all the flowers, I definitely need to come up with something with a lot of negative space there. Oh, no, you're not. You're not thinking of too many things at all. You know what I find is that when I'm watching someone, I can come up with ideas sometimes much faster and better than I can. Um, you know, it has something to do with your perspective, I think, because I constantly am looking at what I'm doing on the monitor, because you just see things differently, right? I'm thinking about paper. Because obviously we need it to be not very heavy paper. And this little paper sack, I'm like, unplanned, but that's kind of cool because this color of paper will be good. Okay, I'm just gonna fold it. Oh my gosh, it's later than I thought. My husband's walking in the house. Man. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Dear Diary. I can't believe Dad tried to marry me off to the Duke of to the Earl of blah, 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 blah. But, she's going to find him to exact her revenge for humiliating her, and they're going to fall madly in love. But only after she gets kidnapped. Will he realize, oh, I love her. I'm going to cut this so that it's not quite as wide, but I wanted it to be, I want these to be the outside pages. Am I not doing this right? I might not be thinking about this correctly. she'll know what it means to be the lady in the house of the house because she's raised her 3 younger sisters. Books 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So I am thinking I definitely didn't do that correctly. I wanted the pages to be like that. But okay. Let's just find this is pretty hardy. And still I know it's too big. I'm just gonna get this is fun. Yes. Oh my gosh, that is it right there. Her dad, squandered away their money after her mother died. They've got all this gambling debt. And he thought he was marrying into money, and she thought she was marrying into money. And now they're on the run from some nefarious characters. Okay, let's see. This is a dear diary. Okay. Now, how much this way do we need to cut off? Lord, me and my cutting challenges. That's still a little large, isn't it? I have to look from there. Oh my gosh, you guys can't really see, can you? Well, still a little big. It's more like a ledger paper. It's so funny. Where's my little, I have like a little bitty baby corner cutter pen. Whoops. I'm getting all into it. Stuff's flying everywhere. This one, that's not the one I was thinking of. This one's pretty little too. I ended up with a huge bag of different type of punches. And so I went through my drawer where I keep them. Okay, don't you fall apart, papers. And put, like cleaned out, went through. Oh, that's really going to make it. Draw some stick people inside, and one of them's holding a knife. The other one's, got X's for eyeballs. Oh no, did I cut this on the wrong side? I did. Dadgummit. I even changed the way I cut it so that it was accordion, so that I could, okay. I guess it doesn't have to be a whole bunch of pages, right? Let's see, which ones are all put together. Isn't it funny how you get like into stuff like this, I would definitely, if I were here by myself doing this, I would steadily do what I'm getting ready to do here and glue a lot of these pages together. Watching, watching somebody else create or listening to one of those silly books like we just talked about. The family tree. This is really fun. And you know how in those books, like, she'll he's a rake or a rogue. She's a chit. It's so funny. Oh my gosh, it's cracking me up. Okay, but glue that in, and then I will trim up the pages. This is so funny. Now, whenever I look at this page, I will think of this story. Okay. This is all of the discarded letters that she tried to write, telling, somebody that her fiance didn't show that she got stood up at the altar. I don't know. I was thinking. Why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me, Andrea? I was thinking that I know I have. I mean, I could make something, huh? Just trace the inside, trace it, and then do some kind of little landscape. I feel like I have actually like a little book of washi paintings, perhaps even. Okay, there's her little book. It doesn't have many pages because, well, she's a woman. She can't have that many thoughts in her head. This era. Okay. Yes, I just threw them all in the trash. I'll have to grab them. Her face. Let's The edges of her page are gold, of course. How do you say diary in French? Le diary. Okay. Why is it like get to where it's so hard to see? Like the way her finger is on it, it actually even looks like she's writing. Whenever I do anything like this, like with the diary, it always also makes me think of Rain Man. Charlie pulled and poked and pulled my hair or whatever it is he says when he's recording it. I could also maybe go just like that. Nope, make it better with it under her little fingers there. There we go. It says journal in time for French. I mean, that's probably. Oh, hey, Linda. Well, we have made an entire scenario. Yes, I did. I just opened it up and used matte gel to make the panes, but really, I mean, that is unnecessary. Really, I'd done it on a big project and then you could really tell, but for this, you don't really need to do that. Yeah, if you use matte gel, because it doesn't, you can put it through a stencil and it looks like a frosted, like the windows got a frosted look or engraved or whatever. Yeah. Fun. Okay. And then there was one of the ivies that looked like it was further away. Oh, that one. I think that's the one. You know what? This sticker is not all cut out though. Like we can't have all of that white on the inside. Here. I have some pen art because I used to retail it, but if you want to message me, Andrea, because most things on my website are like 40% off because I changed my business from like furniture painting and stuff like that. But I don't think that it is. I haven't marked it down yet. Yeah, I really wanted it just to be. I'm not sure I like that. I don't like it. So anyway, I haven't marked it down. But since I'm no longer retailing that stuff, I'm marking it down just to get it out of my inventory, not because it's discontinued or anything like that. You'd still be able to get it from other people. I mean, okay, so she's got her Dear Diary. Her Dear Diary book. I have been on over an hour. English diary, French agenda. And she has an agenda. I do think I'm going to just do a little. Oh. And maybe like. So that it looks kind of like a book plate type situation. I'm doing way too much here with this, but it's fun. And I'll have to gather up more stuff to kind of get her background going, and then whatever I do over here. Let's see, get it to where there's not a glare, maybe. It kind of looks like a haunted situation, but maybe I'll work some more on some sort of greenery around here. I don't know. I'm not gonna actually attach that with glue just because what fun would that be? Then we can't open it. If I come back tomorrow and there's stuff written in there, I'm throwing it all in the trash. All right, guys. Didn't get a lot done, sorry. Just kind of piddling around and playing. But I will be back, of course, next Thursday at 3 again. And let's see. It seems like at the beginning of the month, there's always like so much going on. Yeah, I'm not live again until next Thursday. My other lives are just in the group, in the creative club, guys. So I might have to put some stuff out there. I'm definitely needing to do a sale. You guys, I have so much stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to go pick up more stuff from an auction. Don't tell my husband. So, okay, I will let you know if you don't follow me. I would appreciate a follow. And if you want to hear when I'm going live, my Telegram is in my featured section on my page, and you can follow me there. I pretty much remember every time, but I just don't have that many followers. So, yeah, if you want to follow me there, I will let you know what's going on and when. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Bye.